What's up everyone? So today in this miraculous video I'm about to produce straight out of my gold mouth, these gold words I speak, I'm going to be speaking about hyperthyroidism, okay? There's also other forms of hyperthyroidism called Graves' disease. There's Hashimoto's inflammation of the thyroid, essentially. I'm going to be discussing the top two most common causes of any form of hyperthyroidism in general, okay? Now, bear with me here because a lot of people don't know these simple things, and a lot of doctors will try to tell you that, you know, Graves' disease is incurable and hyperthyroidism has to be treated with drugs and surgery, and that diet has no link to it, and blah blah blah. But I mean, a lot of doctors are very uninformed, and of course they're going to be saying these kinds of things because if diet could cure it and they could recommend you diet, then you wouldn't need to go through with the drugs and the surgery, which you know, that's what they're all about. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's unnecessary in most cases. And a lot of times people will find that if they just do a quick switch of diet and possibly take a couple vitamins and minerals, they can actually cure this without any need for drugs or surgery, okay? And I would highly recommend you check out my other video on the thyroid and on hyperthyroidism if you haven't already. So let's crack into it, okay? So first of all, probably the number one most common cause of thyroid issues in general, but especially hyperthyroidism and many autoimmune diseases and many diseases entirely, is food allergens, okay? Particularly gluten, dairy, corn, and soy, okay? There's others such as peanuts and eggs, but these are the top ones right here that generally will cause a hyperthyroid condition. There's a lot of different people who have actually cut out these four groups of food: the soy, dairy, wheat, and God damn it, what was the other one I said? Corn. Okay. A lot of people have cut these out and experience, at the very least, dramatic improvements in their symptoms. And others have just experienced complete disappearance of the disease altogether, proven with tests, etc. You really have nothing to lose removing these foods. Okay, these foods don't really give you any nutritional benefit. If you think that dairy is a requirement for calcium and whatnot, then you're severely misinformed on nutrition, and you should really do better research on this. I have videos on this already. I don't need to list the calcium, vitamin D, and phosphorus interconnection, which explains why dairy actually isn't a good source of calcium. I don't need to explain that. There's better food sources out there of calcium than dairy. There's better food sources of any nutrient that you might possibly find in corn, soy, wheat, or dairy. And really, those foods are not very nutrient dense anyway, even though, you know, mainstream information always tries to sell you this illusion that they are good for you and whatnot. They're actually not. These allergens actually feed autoimmune disease and fibromyalgia as well. My girlfriend actually has fibromyalgia, and anytime she eats wheat, she notices a flare-up of her symptoms. Same thing with peanuts. But as long as she keeps these out of her diet, she has no episodes of fibromyalgia at all, literally at all, which is a dramatic improvement from when she used to be crawling up and crying in a ball for hours in excruciating pain, neurological pain from the fibromyalgia. As long as she keeps these allergens out of her diet, she doesn't have any occurrences of fibromyalgia at all. And so removing all gluten foods, wheat, rye, barley, removing corn tortillas, any of that, removing soy, and particularly any kind of legume or nut in general would be a good idea if you really want to go full circle. And then, what was the other one I said? Removing dairy, whatever, you already know. I said it like 15,000 fucking times already. Remove these foods from your diet. You have nothing to lose, and like literally nothing to lose at all. Unless you're addicted to this food, and most people are addicted to these food groups. A lot of times, doctors will tell you this all the time. It's the foods that are harming you that you crave the most. And this can just be any general food as well. It doesn't have to be junk food. So just try removing this from your diet for at least 2 weeks, okay? See if you have any improvement in your symptoms whatsoever. See if you can sleep better. See if you feel a little bit calmer. See if your heart rate calms down. Just see what you feel. At the very least, I'm sure you'll lose hyperthyroidism. Usually, you don't want to be losing weight, but this should help to regulate things a little bit if your hyperthyroidism is caused by food allergens. And I would say at least 65% of the time it is a food allergen that's causing this, okay? And that goes for literally any kind of autoimmune disease. A lot of times it's certain types of foods that are damaging your body somehow, or they're causing a antibody response, okay? So that's the first cause, first way, and just go through with it. If you say blah blah blah, you're full of shit, and you haven't even tried it, then you're the one who's full of shit, and you should just give it a try. Okay, you shouldn't be such a closed-minded individual. You know, if you really want wisdom and intelligence, you should try it out for 2 weeks. Like, there's no logical explanation as to why you can't. Okay, especially if you're suffering. Like, what the fuck? You know, you're not doing some crazy surgery and removing an organ, okay? That would be something that you should avoid at all costs. Then you're losing something, obviously. But just removing simple food groups from your diet that don't provide any benefit anyway, you're not losing anything, and you only have experience to gain. So don't be an idiot. Second thing is mineral deficiencies, okay? Vitamin and mineral deficiencies. One thing I should tell you, well, the first thing is vitamin D. You should definitely, no matter what the fuck you think, okay, you should try at least 10,000 IUs of vitamin D a day. 10,000 IUs of vitamin D a day. Go for it. Just try it. You know, it's fairly inexpensive. You want to make sure it's vitamin D3. You should be able to get 5,000 IUs, 60 tablets for about $5. Okay, $5 is 60 tablets of 5,000 IUs. You want to take 10,000 IUs a day, at least for these 2 weeks or whatever. See if you notice improvement. And then beyond that, of course, be careful with the supplements you're taking. If you're taking ashwagandha, if you're taking any kind of thyroid support, if you're taking iodine, if you're taking maca, you should probably remove those for these 2 weeks just in case, okay? Because you don't want any interference with the two experiments. And also those herbs can have different effects in different people depending on the cause of your hyperthyroidism, okay? You know, it can either increase your thyroid or decrease, okay? A lot of people don't understand how the thyroid works. What else? Copper. Okay, you should probably try taking a copper supplement, a low-dose copper supplement. Okay, particularly I would say 50. I think it's micrograms, something of that nature. You want to take 50%. Actually, sorry, not 50 micrograms. It's about 1 microgram or 1 milligram. 50% of your daily value, basically. I think it's 1 milligram of copper a day. Okay. Take it without zinc. Take it without vitamin C and vitamin E, because vitamin C and vitamin E actually depletes your absorption of copper. It inhibits absorption of copper. And zinc obviously can deplete your copper stores. Okay, it's not very easy to get copper in your diet. Generally, shellfish are supposed to be the highest source of copper, which don't even really provide you much anyway. And then, of course, beans and some whole grains, etc., can provide you a little bit of copper. The only problem with this is these foods, for a lot of people, are hard to digest, and you may think that you're absorbing the copper from the food, but you might not actually be getting it. as much copper as you think. So you might want to just try a copper supplement. 50% of your recommended daily value without zinc, without zinc. Try this for 1 week. Okay, see if you see an improvement. And magnesium. Also, it would be a good idea to supplement with magnesium. 200 to 400 milligrams before bed of magnesium citrate. Okay, I have videos on magnesium citrate. I have videos on vitamin D and calcium and how they all interact. But just go for the vitamin D3, 10,000 IUs in the morning, and then 200 to 400 milligrams of magnesium citrate at nighttime, and see if you improve. That should at the very least help to slow your heart rate and help to relax you enough to at least meditate, let alone get a good night's sleep. Okay. So there are other things to look into, the selenium and iodine connection, but essentially this trying out copper and zinc supplements. After the copper, obviously, if the copper did not help, then try a little bit of zinc with copper. But copper alone should probably be the way to go. Be careful with this, okay? Do your own research, take responsibility for your own health, and obviously don't do anything crazy. Consult with, it's probably best to consult with any kind of licensed healthcare practitioner. I mean, for me personally, I would prefer an integrative medicine professional, a functional medicine practitioner, because they know how to work with nutritional supplements, nutrition, and also with medications. Okay, because physicians only know about medications, and it's best to consult with a health professional in general. Thyroid issues are very, very serious. Okay, thyroid issues are a very fragile situation. They can be reversed with nutrition and diet in many cases, okay, and with mineral supplementation and vitamin therapy. But of course, everyone's different, okay, so it'd be good to work with your own physician, and don't do anything crazy. Be careful, take responsibility for your health, and do your own research, okay. Put your health in your hands. This is the information that I have gathered through my research, observation, and my own experiences, and I hope that I can give you some kind of insights with my information and my own little observation from my head. So anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and like the fucking video, and go ahead and subscribe for a lot more videos on health, herbal, supplements, psychology, philosophy, positive energy and the law of attraction, and relationships, friendships, and how to be the most amazing, superhuman, badass motherfucker that you possibly can be by empowering yourself and conquering your issues in life, whether they're health issues, nutrition-wise. I have shit tons of videos on that, shit tons of videos on holistic health and healing, but beyond that, the psychology and philosophy and the mindsets that you partake in life. So enjoy your motherfucking day. Subscribe.